Happy 2019, everybody! Welcome to a brand new year of the Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show. Tonight, we are previewing the biggest and most influential Comic-Cons and fan conventions of the year in North America, of course. And we are also previewing the movies that we can't wait to see this year. Happy New Year, everybody. It's going to be a great year.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talks, the Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show.
Hammer of the
Welcome to the Con
seizure.
Guy Comic-Con Prep Show, your go-to hangout for all the news of the con universe. We have a room full of fans who love what you love. Who do we have with us tonight?
Hi, my name is Derek. I am a contributor to theconguy.com and a fan of conventions.
I'm Katie. I'm a cosplayer and costumer and just overall pop culture consumer.
What's up? I'm Ben Kliewer, comedian, actor, and I do something with this show or something. I don't know. I wrote something one time.
He's a fan of the Rams.
And I'm a fan of the Rams. Go Rams!
I'm Jake Thomas, movie maker and movie fan. Find me on Twitter at JTHummus.
I'm Jake's friend. She's been on the couch, sitting right here next to my buddy Jake.
Buckeyes.
Go Buckeyes,
Buckeyes.
shoulder to shoulder. Hey, before we go anywhere right now, this is the first you guys have seen this of the new year. I just want to give you guys a promise, and I wrote it down.
Uh-oh.
What is your promise?
Here, okay, can we see your shirt, Ben? Can we see your shirt?
Oh.
And look at this shirt. This is solo.
I don't get it.
Here's
I don't
our
get it.
promise.
Controversial.
Here's our promise to the people who are watching the show and listening to the show. This is the place where loving Star Wars does not mean that you hate Star Trek.
Nope.
Well,
Danae.
actually, or the people who hate Star Trek. Danae.
Sorry, calling out my
Marvel
sister.
gets along with DC. Boys and girls are not from different planets, and where
That's true.
we fan the flames of your fandom and fight against all those hateful, mean people who want to ruin what we love. In short, we are fans, and this is your safe place to geek out. Ben, I wrote that because you've been talking about, you always mention how this feels like a safe place, everybody loves stuff, and we're not hating on people. This does not mean that we don't have opinions. Ben, do you have opinions?
I've got lots of opinions.
Oh, yeah.
Ben?
But I think the important thing is I think in nerd culture, I could do like a psychological dissertation on this, I suppose.
Yeah, don't.
But I won't.
Exactly.
Yeah, we were just talking about how we got to do better with sticking to our
Right.
time constraints
Yeah.
on here.
But I think there
That's our
is a
promise.
tendency of nerds when you're passionate about something, if somebody disagrees, you go for the jugular
Yeah.
on that person. And that's not fair. I can, like, before the show, Jim and I were just talking about, Jim doesn't particularly care for The Last Jedi.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I enjoyed it, but I also have opinions. And it's like, I just said, The Last Jedi, whether it's good or bad or whatever you think, it didn't ruin Star Wars.
No, it did not.
I could go back and watch the
close.
original trilogy anytime I want.
If Star Wars survived the Christmas special,
Oh, B.
Which-
Arthur. B. Arthur. Let's
Which
hear it
was
up.
after the original film, wasn't it?
It was after the first one. It was before Empire.
It was before Empire. So
I mean, hey, and they bounced back from that. And you know what? We got the prequels. And for me, like, I wouldn't say it ruined it, but it did, like, for a long time in my youth, made it harder when I went back to the originals to enjoy them as much.
I've never seen
But
it.
I think I'm over that now.
But if we can survive Jar Jar, and if
That's
we can
true.
survive B. Arthur pushing everybody out, if we can survive a womanizing Boba Fett in the special edition of Return of the Jedi,
I kind of like the chin flip when he's macking on the girl in the corner and does the chin flip and walks off into the original movie.
it's the musical number in Return of the Jedi in the special edition.
The way I would phrase it is just because The Dark Knight made $1 billion, it doesn't mean Aquaman can't also make $1 billion.
Can we say?
I was going to say, that was a
It's
segue
the- it's the
there, I
ticket
feel
prices.
like.
There's a segue.
Well, there's the segue. There's a segue. Before we get to that, because I do want to talk
Okay.
about that real quick.
Sorry.
Luke Cheeseman, real quick. What did Santa bring Cheeseman for Christmas?
Well, what Mommy Christmas brought me was not one, you can see one there, but two Superman shirts because I have too many zippers on this bag.
but do you have a Nicolas Cage
Yeah.
Superman shirt?
Like an-
That's
like
Nicolas
one
Cage. This is the Nicolas Cage Superman, and this
Has anyone
is
seen Mandy yet, by the way?
no, I haven't.
Look at
And
that.
I'm an investor.
Twin Superman shirts, double. Look at that.
Oh,
Nice.
look at there, look at there.
Nice.
It's a
Our
double.
studio audience.
What
loves
actually
it.
happened? I was like,
It's
oh, I wanted this
super.
one, and then I was going to take this one back, and then I'm like, I kind of like this one too. So then I just
It's
kept
okay
both
to
of
have
them.
more than one
So I got
Superman
more
We're
than
not
one.
going to judge you for having
I
more than
talked
one
about it on the
Superman.
show
He's had a
before.
red
I got
suit, he's had a
the
blue suit. He's had
the
a black
old Batman 66
Oh.
Riddler ornament Hallmark,
We know you
Frank
collect
Gorshin.
and
Oh yeah, the orange.
Batman and Robin on
Nice.
the Bat Cycle.
That's exactly
right
what
there.
you were looking for, too.
Yeah.
I have this one as well. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
That's
Merry
the old
Christmas.
Frank.
It was awesome. And then I got a little surprise present that we'd all appreciate. Look at this.
Oh, man.
So this
Yeah.
is Entertainment Weekly's thing on Stan Lee, which didn't ask for this, but my mom knew I'd like it.
Yeah,
so
that's
thank
good.
you, Mom.
I can tell you I'm stealing it over that. I'm going to...
You know,
And I got a
honestly-
I'm sure
DuckTales
tearing
shirt,
up in a
but
minute.
it's dirty,
Oh.
so I didn't want to make the room stink, so I didn't bring it.
When they're having that special memorial.
Which
Are we?
no,
we gonna
which
talk about
your
that?
organization, Legion M, is a part of, sponsoring with Kevin Smith.
my
We're going to talk about it in just
personal
1 second.
organization.
All right. So, does anybody else have anything real quick before we're going to do something new called 3 Minutes of Geek? Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Not
Here we go.
particularly
We need a
geek
timer.
related, but I watched Bohemian Rhapsody last night, and it was amazing, and it blew my mind.
Don't you just love the final 20 minutes of that movie?
Yeah, I love the
Oh,
final
it's
20 minutes,
so
but I had
good.
to go to the bathroom, and I kept thinking the movie was going to end. I'm like, oh, I can wait, and then it wouldn't. And then you know what? I went to the bathroom and came back, and there was like 10 more minutes of concert.
Kind of like the song
Kinda
like
Bohemian
the song,
Rhapsody.
yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that.
So everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight here at the Con Guy Comic-Con Prep Show. We have 2 main topics we're going to talk about tonight. Derek's going to take us through the biggest conventions in the country in just a second. And they're big mainly by size, but also by influence. Some of them have suffered a little bit. For example, Phoenix Comic-Con, which is now Phoenix Fan Fusion, has gone up and down because of some things there, but we'll talk about it in just a second. And then secondly, we're going to talk about all the movies that we are excited to see this year, and we'll even let you know which ones we think are going to bomb. That doesn't mean we hate them. That just means that we're just not as...
I have opinions.
I mean, said they may not do well. Anyways, 3 minutes. Set your timers.
There's a timer. We're getting a timer.
He's
All right, here's our
setting
3 minutes.
timers, yeah.
Ready, set, go. Number 1, Aquaman topped $1 billion. Just the first DC Extended Universe film to do so. Really quick, you got 10 seconds. What did you think?
It was a fun movie. I didn't love it as much as Wonder Woman, but I still had a good time watching it.
I enjoyed it, and I loved the costuming.
Yeah.
10 years ago, if you would have told me DC Warner Brothers was building a joined superhero universe that included Batman and Superman, and the top 2 best movies from that franchise were going to be Wonder Woman and Aquaman, I would have told
Oh,
you
yeah.
you were crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
I enjoyed, I had a lot of fun with Aquaman, still had some issues with
Yeah.
it, but overall I liked it.
Jake, did you see it?
That is the most expensive looking movie I have ever seen in my entire life.
I know. Every scene was tons of special effects.
You sit there and you're like, wait a second. Of course they have to animate Drago's hair while he's floating because he can't really talk underwater.
Exactly.
Wow, that's expensive.
Tick, 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 tick.
Sharks.
Sharks. Okay.
Sharks were great.
Of
Sharks.
course.
Oh, riding the sharks was so
Riding
good.
sharks.
Willem Dafoe,
That's all I
Okay.
gotta say.
Hammerhead shark.
We've used up our
Yes.
time already.
Game of Thrones returns April 14th
Yes, that teaser was really cool.
in cold.
Luke.
Kevin Smith is host. Wait.
Sorry, didn't you and Katie map out how many episodes you'd have to
Yes.
watch per week if you want to catch up?
Yes, if I watch 5 per week up until there, I could watch the whole thing.
Yes,
and be
that's
caught up.
doable.
I've seen
That's
zero.
doable,
Kevin
easily.
Smith is hosting a Stan Lee tribute on January 30th at Hollywood's Chinese Theater with Mark Hamill, Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld, and many more. It's open to the public. We will have more information as we get closer. Marvel has tapped the Captain Marvel film writer for a potential The Vision and Scarlet Witch series on the soon-to-launch
did hear
Disney
about
Plus.
this.
Are you guys excited about that?
I'm anxious to see what these Disney Plus Marvel series
Yeah.
look
Yeah,
like.
I know.
we'll see if they can
It's
convince
all
me to sign up
in the
for
air
it.
at the moment.
Yeah.
Speaking of Captain Marvel Day 1 pre-ticket sales are among Fandango's top 3 ever for a Marvel movie, behind only Avengers, Endgame, and Black Panther, and they're saying it might pass up Black Panther. That's huge, guys.
You also
is
meant Avengers
huge.
Infinity War.
Very
Just
huge.
What did I
thought
say?
it-
Oh,
you
I meant
said
Infinity
Endgame.
War, and game's
Yeah.
not been released yet.
Yeah.
Good catch.
One
Good.
minute.
1 minute.
Best-selling comic book of 2018. Last year was Action Comics number 1000, which celebrated what?
Oh, Superman.
Superman.
Yeah.
80 years of Superman. That,
was
makes me
Brian Michael,
happy.
That was
Okay.
Brian Michael Bendis, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are correct. You're
Oh,
correct.
43 seconds.
Well, we only have one more. Just a couple things, right? This is a Star Trek. Ben, you want to read the last one here?
Star Trek
Come on.
4. This says because Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth wouldn't come down on their pay. I think there were also issues with the director.
It's been
as
canceled.
well.
Star Trek 4 has been
And
canceled.
those
And that
father and
director
son
is now
issues.
working on the Game of Thrones prequel series.
Right.
that's
Oh
coming.
yeah. But Chris, the two Chris's would not come down. Also, Michelle. But in other Star Trek news, Michelle
Michelle
Yeoh.
Yeoh.
Are you watching Discovery?
I'm not. I mean, I've seen the first
One of the
11
characters-
seconds.
Okay, Michelle Yeoh,
10
starring in a brand new
seconds.
Star Trek show about Starfleet Section 31 Division, a spin-off of Discovery. And this is in addition to the already announced Jean-Luc Picard Star Trek series starring fan favorite Patrick Stewart.
Yay.
Star
No
Trek
way.
news.
I'm super.
Can we
stoked
just
for
time the whole
Patrick Stewart.
show so we get done
Yeah.
earlier?
Awesome.
So we can
We
go to
can
Casa
always do
Vegas.
the show
Yeah.
like that.
Why did that feel like Final Jeopardy?
Brad,
It was like a
that.
lightning round.
But I
and
do think comment
love it.
of all that. I'm so excited that Jean-Luc Picard is coming back in the series.
Oh, yeah.
because we were
Jean. Jean.
Yeah, it's Jean-Luc.
Did I say John?
You said
kinda
Jean-Luc
said John,
Picard.
All right.
Like
You
he's
said
a
2 books of the
general
Bible
in
and
the Confederate
Picard.
Army.
like trash.
John
Ben.
Luke Picard.
Jean-Luc Picard,
I do,
the honorable.
but we were talking before the show. It's not completely sad. It is sad that there's not that the movie's been shelved because it was an idea like Captain Kirk was going to go back and visit his dad. But Star Trek works best on television. It works great on television.
It is great on television.
Indeed.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Brad said he likes Ben more, that he liked Bohemian Rhapsody. Brad's a big fan of you now.
Oh, Brad's a
Dude.
big fan.
And we
I
do
know
have a
Brad's-
fan on
Brad's
here
hard to-
asking favorite Queen song.
oh yeah.
I want to say Under Pressure.
Does that
That's
count?
that's a combo.
Does it? I know, but I really
that's a
love
team
it.
up.
And it gets stuck in my head more than any other. I think.
Bicycle.
I like that one
I
too.
want to ride my bicycle.
Guys, there's nothing better than Bohemian Rhapsody. I
do
will.
love
I will
Can I just say
wrestle you to the
Jock
ground to
Jams
fight
because
that.
that's multiple Queen songs?
So.
Yeah, just jock
Yeah.
jams.
Jock
The whole
jams.
All right, we are very close to the con season starting, which is crazy but
Yeah.
awesome.
Already started, technically.
Oh wait, what's happening this weekend?
Anime LA happened last weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, this is true.
Yes.
It is not on our list. We're about to go over it, and it's because we didn't have a show soon enough to talk
Somebody
about
lit a car
anime.
on fire.
And it's the largest anime convention in North America, from what I understand.
Anime LA?
Yeah.
I think Anime Expo is.
Oh, that-
Yeah. Anime
Oh,
LA.
Which is
Because-
also in LA.
Because Anime
so
LA is in
confused.
Ontario. Anime Expo is at Los Angeles Convention Center.
And Ontario is right outside Los Angeles. It's kind of like a suburb of LA.
Yeah, but I think Anime Expo
That
is
was
the
in
largest.
Canada. Just
I know,
kidding.
crazy.
I'm just
so,
joking.
Derek,
Cucamonga Inland Empire.
we have a supersized bulletin board this week.
Yeah.
These are the conventions. These guys, we will have this article on our website. Every single convention, a link to each convention, information about each convention, and our thoughts about those conventions. But right now,
I have
Derek's gonna-
opinions.
Very many.
But right now,
we know you have opinions. Ben.
remember when David Letterman used to do that?
Your opinions are very verbose.
All right, Derek, bulletin board, the supersized bulletin board
Yes.
this week, the biggest conventions
All right.
of the year.
So
Let's
the
go.
first one on our list, March 14th through 17th, is Emerald City Comic Con.
Yes.
As a native Kansan, I take issue with the name Emerald City Comic Con being in Seattle. Just
What are you
kidding.
talking about?
It's like Wizard of Oz, bro.
Yeah.
How many people?
About 95,000.
That's a big one. This
Yeah.
one, from what I understand, is very, very heavy on comic books. The comic book.
And coffee.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing.
Like, we have a friend, Rick Bond, who's been on the show with us here. He's a comic book writer and enthusiast, and he's from Seattle, and this is his home con, so we look forward for Rick telling us what went on this year.
Ah, yes. And then March 29th through 31st is one of our little close by ones, WonderCon, which is in Anaheim. And it's, 60,000, 70,000 plus.
It's San Diego Comic Con Junior.
Kind of. Well, it is part of Comic-Con International,
It's
so
the
it's
same
that
thing.
chain
Pre-game.
of
It's the
conventions.
pre-game.
Yeah.
First.
But sometimes there are things about it that I like
Yeah.
better because
I do
it's-
too.
You don't feel stifled the whole time,
Food,
and
food
herded.
being one of them.
The food truck's all up front.
You got the food trucks.
Wait, how's the food better?
They have food trucks.
Compared to what?
Like
Gobs
compared to
and
having to
gobs.
go to Gaslamp or being in the convention center.
Got it.
And
But
it's a little
also-
easier to get around. There's some great cosplay, and it's a little easier if you're going to do cosplay to move around. And also, you're right next to Disneyland.
Right.
They
It's
don't
right across
kick,
the street.
They don't
Yeah.
kick you out of the lobby when you're trying to take pictures in cosplay. They let you stand in the lobby and take pictures. Where in San Diego Comic Con, it's like, please keep moving, please don't stand, all this different stuff.
Yeah.
And
It's one of
there's
the
more space.
easiest conventions to network for those who are somewhat associated with the industry because every night inside the Hilton, at the Hilton bar, everybody in the industry gathers every single night, and it's so much fun.
And it's easier to get in the arena. And also, some of the panels that are WonderCon are also at Comic Con, so you get to kind of experience it. And then they also kind of do them again at Comic Con.
WonderCon is one of my personal favorites. Actually, it's probably my personal favorite. It's my fiance's favorite. It's where we met.
Oh, that's
I was
awesome.
gonna say, I think you have a reason that it's your
How
favorite.
many weeks, Ben? How many months?
Oh man, we're less than 4 months away. May the 4th.
You don't have the countdown going?
I've got it on my phone.
Okay, I was gonna say I had a countdown app on my phone.
It's something like 109 days, I think, right now.
I put that
By the
on
way,
my
we're talking
mom
about the
coming to
marriage,
visit
the impending
calendar.
marriage of
Yes.
super geeks, super nerds,
Getting
Ben
married.
and
Of course
Bree.
they're getting married
She's
on
making
May
an
the
honest
4th.
man
That's
out of him.
At the con couple, by the way, on Instagram. We haven't posted in like 6 months,
True,
But they
yeah.
will.
but we will.
All right. What else do we have? What's next?
Let's see. Phoenix Fan Fusion is May 23rd through 26th.
This is the
that's-
one. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's Phoenix. It was Phoenix Comic Fest and Phoenix Comic Con at different times.
It's had to change names to avoid the lawsuit from San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, and then so apparently in 2016 they had over 100,000.
Right.
Right.
It was a giant convention.
all right, but it's gotten smaller, and then 2017 around 80,000.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's because that's the year they had an armed gunman show up and come into the con wanting to shoot and kill one of the guests, one of the actors.
Wasn't it a knife?
Oh, right.
It was a gun.
There was a
I'm
gun?
pretty sure it was a gun.
I think I remember some of this. Yeah.
Because wasn't it? It was the Power Ranger, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the Power Ranger.
Maybe
guy, yeah.
because it
I didn't know if it was a gun or a knife. I just remember it was a weapon.
and then they had to clear the whole entire convention, and a lot of people didn't come back.
it's also why
for the
there's more
next day.
security at
Yep.
most conventions now.
And so how many did they have the next year? Like
It's-
last year, it shrunk down, like
Around
down
60,000.
around 60,000. So, and they moved it to a different weekend, I think. They changed the name, and so they're having some struggles. It's still a big
Called
convention.
Dark Phoenix Comic Con.
It will get bigger.
Dark Phoenix Con.
Why not?
Why not?
That's
Why not?
awesome. I like that.
Licensing.
Probably for the same reason they just don't call it Comic Con anymore.
Yeah.
Somebody
I don't
might
wanna
sue
get
them.
sued by Disney now,
Yeah.
who will now own it.
Yeah.
No corporate threats here. Keep going.
Okay.
Shaking in my boots.
Let's talk about something less controversial. Tax Weekend, April 11th through 15th.
This next weekend. Oh my gosh.
Star Wars celebration in
Yep.
Chicago.
Yep.
Which has around 70,000.
Completely sold out.
Yeah.
There's no way anybody can go.
Go see a Star Wars.
Unless somebody here wants to go, we've been
There's
invited to
somebody go and see
send
us, Tom.
people on the behalf of the con guy if anybody wants to go. Anybody? Yeah, okay, we're not going.
maybe.
It's cold.
Where is it this year?
Chicago. It's my old stopping ground. I'm from Chicago
In
area.
April, is it cold in April? in
Chicago.
Jim?
I bet Jake
It's cold in
Jerley
Chicago
would go.
until July.
Jake Jerley may go
Hey,
if we get him tickets.
No, the thing that's cool about this, I would love to go to this one. It's the final Star Wars celebration before they complete the gigantic 9-movie Skywalker saga. It's going to be a big one. And what people don't remember is when I was a little kid. I mean, people don't remember when I was a little kid, but anyway, when I was a little kid, George Lucas.
When was
The
that?
1920s.
way back when we were standing in the soup lines. No, George Lucas did announce that his original vision was for 9 pictures, and he even talked about how the first 3 were a little bit darker. You know, it was the fall of Darth Vader, and then the middle 3, which he did, and then the final 3. I don't think he had sketched out enough, but this is completing this is the final.
I mean, even if he had, Ryan Johnson would have thrown it all away anyway.
Exactly. This is the final. I'm getting so mad. This is the final vision of George Lucas coming to completion, and I could not, for one, be happier. Even though I was not the biggest fan of the last movie, I didn't hate it, and I was not super excited about this next movie until Princess Leia. She's going to be
Yeah, so
extensively
they've
used.
said that she's in there a lot, actually.
You know what I'm excited about? Old Man Lando. That's what I'm excited
Yeah,
about.
Lando's
really?
back. Yes, he's
Yeah,
back.
he's back, dude.
Okay, I'm excited.
And I've
about
been
that, too.
following Billy D. Williams on Instagram, and he's like posting like
Yeah.
videos of him lifting weights and stuff, and I'm like, oh. Old
Okay,
Man
Billy
Lando's
D.
gonna
Williams
get
is
guns.
still like, you can tell he just has had fun with that role, because when they were doing the prequels, I remember him saying like he was willing to play like Lando's father or something if there was an opportunity. And then on things like the Lego Movie, he's voicing Lando
Yeah.
there. Like he and Anthony Daniels are both voicing those characters.
One of the
yeah.
awesome things about the Lego Batman movie is he's the voice of Two-Face, which is great
Oh.
because
That's right, that's
he
right.
played Harvey Dent in the 1989 Batman movie.
Yes.
And who goes on to eventually become Two-Face, but he never got that opportunity because
It switched up directors and
Yeah.
All right.
things. Yeah.
We must move.
Okay, where were we? Let's see.
There was Star Wars, which is tax weekend.
Yes, and then April 19th through 20th, you can recover from that with your tax refund and go to Salt Lake Fan X.
That used to be Salt Lake Comic Con.
It used to be Salt Lake until they got
they've all
Yeah,
come
my
up with
sued
best-
away from them.
My
Yeah.
best friend lived in Utah for a bit, so she went to that one a few years ago.
This one apparently is still one of the.
Yeah.
It's one of the last
They have
remaining.
good guests. for
Yes,
that
it's
one.
an independent Comic Con. It's one of the largest and most respected independent Comic Cons in the country. No. I didn't say Comic Con. I'm sorry. I don't want to get you sued again. Comic experiences. Conventions.
It is still a convention. The word convention isn't copyrighted as far
You could
as I
say
know.
Comic-Con as a contraction. You don't have to have the little dash in the middle there.
Yeah.
Oh no, they didn't have the dash.
Oh, did they not?
No,
Oh,
they
and
did
so
not.
that was part of the. Okay, well, that one has about 10,000 people. Or, sorry, 110,000.
Yeah,
And-
it's one of the largest in the country.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Oh, is that all?
Yes.
Oh, and then we're like, oh, wait, is this.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
out
this
of
is
order.
supposed to say May.
Oh
Is it
yes,
supposed to say
you
May or
are
is it supposed to say
correct.
March in our list?
They're
that we
both, the
got
next
here?
year is supposed to be
CTE2?
May.
May, yeah. I want to make sure we're giving people the correct dates.
Yeah.
May 22nd through 24th is C2E2.
Which is in Chicago.
Chicago.
It's 80,000 plus.
And it is what's cool. It's the second or third stop on ReedPOP. They have a series of conventions. New York Comic Con, C2E2, and a bunch of them where they have the cosplay nationals. And this is one of the biggest stops for the cosplay nationals. One of the biggest cosplay competitions in the country, which culminates in New York City.
Doesn't C2E2 stand for like comic convention
It's-
entertainment expo?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Chicago Comic
Yeah.
and Entertainment Expo.
Yes. there we
Correct.
go.
Okay, and then MegaCon is also in May. That's May 16th through 19th.
Correct.
That's over 100,000. That's in Orlando.
I may have gotten that date wrong. I'm gonna look that one up. I thought
Maybe.
MegaCon was on Memorial Day weekend, but you can keep going. It's 100,000.
I'm
check on
skipping
that.
St. Patty's to go to that.
Oh no, that's not happening.
Well, these are May, not March. We had a typo
That's
in our
Jim's
list.
Christmas,
Yeah.
by the way.
But I do think I got
Does
the
he know that he can take
MegaCon
St. Patty's
date
anywhere he
wrong.
goes?
I'm gonna look right now.
They don't
Wondercon.
have St. Patrick's Day in Chicago.
Oh, it is.
No, I don't think so. I don't
Actually-
think anyone cares about it there.
Actually, MegaCon this year. Wow, it is on.
May 16th through 19th?
Yeah, it's on St. Patrick's Day weekend. Bad
No,
on
that's
you.
not
Bad
St. Patrick's
on
Day,
you.
Jim. That's
Oh, I'm in the wrong month.
Except
Yeah.
for if you haven't noticed
St.
from
Patrick's Day
Comic-Con,
weekend
a
will be
lot of
Emerald City
nerds don't
Comic-Con.
drink, so it doesn't
Oh,
make
yeah.
total sense.
You haven't noticed from Comic Con,
We
but
were
a
already
lot
talking
do.
about it.
No, but a lot also
I mean,
don't.
Zach
I know,
Levi
I
had a
know.
whole show about that.
Who did?
Who
He
doesn't
did, and
drink?
I went to a taping.
Zachary Levi was Nerds Who Drink. I think that was the name of the
Geeks
show.
Who Drink.
Geeks Who Drink.
Geeks who
sorry.
drink.
We can
That's
talk
still
about that
a
later.
competitive
Yeah.
thing around the country.
Yeah, that's why they can't have that show.
Yeah, he
anymore.
got-
Anyway.
Alas, that's okay. We got more to say about him later.
Litigation.
July
Yes, we do.
17th through 21st is just one of the little ones. San Diego Comic-Con. I'm just kidding. It's a big one. It's 140,000 and
Yes, and that's a deceptive number because
Yeah.
it's not just 140,000. That's how many people get badges.
yeah. 'Cause you
I'd
got-
say at least 250,000 people descend upon downtown San
Yeah.
Diego for that.
And we will
weekend.
compare this number to New York Comic Con's number in just a second because Katie brought that up. But
New York's a liar.
P.S. on a side note, if anybody
he's got opinions.
I got opinions.
if anybody who's listening or watching has any questions about San Diego Comic-Con, please tweet me or message me on Instagram, and I can answer what questions I know, because I know I have a lot of friends who are always like, what's this? This sounds like a total hell, and like I don't know if it's worth going, but just send me questions and I can try my best to help you guys out.
And all the badges, all the badge distributions have already occurred. Early bird registration. I mean, early bird hotels are open right now with very affordable hotels.
Kapla!
But they are far.
Sorry,
they're
that's
far.
a little,
but
a little bit of
almost
Klingon
all
that
of them
I know.
are on the shuttle route.
Yes, they're on the shuttle route, but they are going to be very far, and it requires 2 days deposit. You don't get it back.
Non-refundable. Yes.
Man.
So
Hard
Or is
Rock
it-
Hotel.
Or is that one the one where you have to pay it all
No.
up front? That's 2 days,
I
right?
think it's 2 days
Okay.
deposit. Yeah.
Either way, you don't get it back if you cancel.
Over
Correct.
That's rough.
Christmas, my wife's family and I stayed in a delightful Airbnb near the San Diego downtown area, so I highly recommend it if you find it, but I'm sure it's already sold out.
Say it.
Be very, 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 very careful about Airbnb at
Yes.
Comic-Con. People get very screwed over, and
Yep.
it gets very, very expensive. There was actually a whole article that I believe I retweeted about it, because some people were cautioning people to not get Airbnbs.
Completely caution people against Airbnb
but
for
like
San
I
Diego
said,
Comic Con.
yeah, tweet me. I can
Well,
explain.
you know what's happening is because people, they will Airbnb out their apartment, and then they find out somebody else will pay like more,
Twice as much money,
Yeah,
and
and
they'll
they'll cancel you immediately until this person gives you money. Oh,
And then that person cannot find another room because it's too late.
yeah,
So,
and
gotta
plus,
be
I
careful. There's
think
some good ones.
San
but-
Diego, I think, is one of the communities that is considering outlawing being Airbnb. So it might be
Yeah.
I'm
illegal.
not
at
sure
the
how
time.
I feel about that either.
I don't either.
I've got opinions.
But anyway, just be
Should
very
that be our
cautious.
new-
And we are going to
for the
have.
show?
I've got opinions.
I got opinions.
As we get closer to San Diego Comic-Con, we will have extensive. That is kind of like, I guess you'd call it one of our 2 home conventions. Our big one that we kind of cover here on the West Coast. So
We talk about it a lot.
we will have a lot of information about that. All right, there. What else?
So after that, you could also visit the D23 Expo, August 23rd through 25th. And that's 60,000 to 100,000
per New York Times
per the New
estimate.
York Times. Yeah.
I don't think it's
It's
100,000.
pretty busy.
But the D23 convention, I think, has now reached the upper tiers as one of the top tier conventions in the country.
Last time we were there, I called it LineCon.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
what it
I
got
know.
nicknamed
I was
last
about to
time.
say they got to get that under.
They
like
need to get
people
it under
wait,
control.
and you have to
Yeah.
wait in line like 2 hours just to get in the building. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
You would wait in a line to get a ticket so you could go stand in a line.
Yeah,
to
and
go buy
Disney can
something.
Disney can do better. We know they can. So
Yeah. I was going to say, isn't that what Disney's all about? Waiting in
Yep.
lines?
Do better, Disney. I got opinions.
It's why they invented the game Heads Up. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Let's see what else. In Atlanta, another one that some of our friends love is is DragonCon, August 29th to September 2nd, which has 80,000 or more.
Yep. It's 30. It's like 33 years old.
Yeah,
I think it's around
and that's
33.
the one that they say is like Nerd Mardi Gras, which
Katie, you were talking about that's one that you want to go to.
I wanna go to it, yeah,
That's one of
for
the
sure.
cons that before I
and
die.
Tom has been there a lot.
Yes, Tom.
Yeah,
Tom Parham, who's on our show quite frequently.
my
He-
friend
few-
lives in
few other
South
guests we've
Carolina,
had.
so I was like,
Which part?
I don't know exactly, but she goes to grad school over there. So like, if
My
I
folks
went
are
to
in
go visit her, I
Greenville,
would
South Carolina.
possibly go like around a con. We had discussed me going over for a con, and then we could go together. So,
DragonCon is also the Sex and Booze Con.
According to Bernie Bregman.
According to a lot of people, not just Bernie, but
Is it
like a lot of
really?
people. Oh yeah, that's one of the biggest drinking cons and hotel room hopping. But that's the one where they have all the hotel room parties and all
Yep.
that kind of stuff. And
Because it's all in a series of hotels, and they have tons of parties. Like even on their website, you'll just find party after party after party party.
So it's like Mardi Gras con.
Party Con.
Party Con.
Yeah.
Mardi Gras.
Party Gras.
Mardi Gras.
All right, two more.
Let's
more,
call
all
it
right.
Ponfar.
New York Comic Con is October 3rd through 6th, and reportedly they've already sold 250,000 tickets.
Well,
Or-
they have-
no, not already.
Previous
Sorry,
years.
in the past they've done that.
Okay, okay, real quick.
What?
Why is that a little bit of a BS statement?
Because New York sucks.
and because there's no, it does not have 250,000 people there at any one given time.
That's
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
They're counting, like-
yeah, they're counting. They have to be
Thursday tickets, Friday tickets, Saturday tickets,
Yeah.
and just
Separately.
adding that.
If
Yeah.
San Diego were to count the same way, I've heard that their number would be closer over 300,000.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
So if
that's
I
right.
buy to New York Comic Con, and I'm fine with New York Comic Con, I don't think New York sucks. But if I bought a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday ticket, New York Comic Con's numbers would count that as 4 separate tickets.
4 days,
Yeah.
correct.
So I am now 4 people.
You're
I am the
multiple man.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
for the record,
I
D23
am
does the same
multiplicity.
thing.
You could do a really great group cosplay all by yourself.
Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
great?
So then,
And last statement: New York Comic Con is the it's like the equivalent of San
Yeah.
Diego Comic Con.
Yeah.
It's from what I understand though, it's very crowded. It's like if you thought San Diego was crowded, San Diego has all kinds of space, 10 city blocks of space, whereas New York's crammed into the
yeah.
Javits Center.
Which is, I mean,
Plus,
that's
they
New
have the
York.
harbor, and they can use boats for space too.
they do have
Oh,
boats.
Yeah.
which they utilized for Vikings 2 years ago, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I remember like Adult Swim took a boat cruise around the New York harbor with some of the people on it. That's kind of cool.
They burned a ship for Vikings 2 years ago.
In New York or in San Diego?
No, in San Diego.
Oh,
I'm saying,
yeah,
like
yeah,
they
yeah.
utilized that to burn a ship. Okay. Anyway, tangent.
Viking
sorry.
funeral.
Last
Anyway.
year.
Yep.
Oh, last year Vikings.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, anyway, after that is Los Angeles Comic Con, which is October 11th through 13th, and that's
Wait.
the one that what? Did
Keep
we
going.
skip
I'm
one?
sorry. No, keep going. Keep going.
Which has over 100,000 people, and it's so they're keeping Los Angeles Comic Con as the name right for now.
Yeah.
right.
For the time being, yes.
Yeah.
And why is that date significant, Katie?
It's earlier than it normally is.
Yes, it's not on Halloween
it's like
weekend
2
anymore.
weeks before. It's not Halloween weekend.
That's
which
correct.
So I can't wear
a little
Michael
more convenient.
Myers.
I
No,
think you
it's- you
still
still
can.
could. It's
still October.
Because like
It's
last
October,
year,
but
because
it's
last
not
year they
as
had
fun.
that whole section that was dedicated to horror, and that was really
Sponsored
cool.
by Fangoria, which
yeah,
is really
and that was
cool.
really cool because you saw a lot of variety of like kind of like a merge between.
I don't think they'll change
Yeah.
that. They'll still
Yeah,
be
because
all,
it is still in October.
Yeah.
So,
but it's just like it's a pain in the rump to try to get everybody to stay. Okay, let's put it this way: L.A. Halloween in LA is a different thing probably than different cities.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very grown-up adult holiday in Los Angeles. I'm sure it is in many other parts of the country. And so you're competing against Halloween if you have a Comic-Con on Halloween. So that's it's kind of like having a Halloween on Christmas. I mean, having a Comic-Con on Christmas.
And there are many, many Halloween events all throughout the
Yeah.
city taking place, and a lot of them kind
Hundreds.
of and
Hundreds.
so a lot of people kind of save their favorite Halloween event for the weekend of Halloween, and
Correct.
it might cut into their attendance. So
Correct.
it's smarter to move it earlier.
Yep.
I have a quick note on
Including the
a
Warner
convention we
Brothers
did not mention.
yes.
Of course, it's not a big one, but Gallifrey 1 convention, the Doctor Who, the Los
yes.
Angeles,
In
the largest
February?
North American Doctor Who convention, is in February. It's the weekend of Valentine's Day. It's the 15th, 16th, and 17th. That's
And-
very special.
Is it in
one to me.
Burbank?
It's sold out within minutes.
Oh, it always sells
It
out.
always
in
does.
Yeah.
I know, it's sold out within minutes.
It's in Burbank, right?
Why don't they
No,
expand
it's
a little bit?
at the LAX Marriott.
It's on
Okay,
LA.
I knew it was at a
No,
hotel. I just
they
couldn't remember where.
purposefully don't expand it. They want to
Yeah.
keep it
That's
small.
what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And are there any other conventions that we should mention? Yes?
I can't remember anything right now. I feel like there was one I had earlier, but I don't remember it anymore.
They're the small ones like
Yeah.
Long Beach Comic Con, Long Beach Comic Expo, that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. But those are pretty
And
small
there
potatoes compared.
there's the Star Trek cruise.
Oh, yeah, really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
What's the Star Trek convention that happens in Vegas every year?
Oh, Star Trek convention.
Star Trek. Oh, it's just called Star Trek.
There's a
Convention.
lot. Honestly,
The official.
there's
official.
a lot of fandoms that have their own conventions.
It's a very
if you
logical
if you're
name.
part of a fandom
Yes.
that you're interested in, I would just search it and say, is there a convention for this? Because there's conventions for Supernatural, there's conventions
Yep.
for like pretty much everything.
And
So
there's
just,
WhedonCon.
you know,
Yeah, WhedonCon's coming up, and that's usually up in
yeah.
somewhere out there.
I just
we should
rewatched
have
Firefly, by the way.
Wonderful show.
Oh, yeah.
We should have the people at home, if there's something we missed that's your favorite, or maybe if you're even starting one,
Yeah.
give us a message, #convention mention.
Yeah, convention mention.
Nice.
We'll
I
be
like
watching
that.
it tonight, and we'll make sure that we mention it. Also, the
Jake is
Amazing
a writer.
Cons, which are in Hawaii, and where's the other one? It's Amazing Con Hawaii, Amazing Con Vegas are
Vegas.
some good conventions are coming. Also, the Ace Comic Cons, which launched last year. If you guys can go to an Ace Comic Con, they launched big. And so they have an enormous amount of guests at being such a new Comic Con. And then also San Jose Comic Con, I did not get on here, which is who's the big tech guy? You know, Google.
Jeff
and
Bezos.
Not that guy. That
There are
guy's
several
having
big tech
problems.
guys. I'm
Anyways,
not sure which
it's up
one
in San Jose, and it's a big Comic Con as well because they got a lot of money. All right, so I think that's all the cons right now. Like Jake was saying, there are more. Everybody, there are
Yeah,
more cons. There's
many
something
more.
every weekend. These are not. We're not saying these are the best. I think some of these are the best, but these are the biggest and perhaps most influential in the country. So we are going to go through right now. We're taking a little break so we can split up right here, but we're stopping for station identification. Remember when they used to
Someone
do
mentioned
that?
Long Beach Comic Expo, which is kind of similar to Long Beach Comic Con.
That's President's Day weekend. So
yeah.
thank you for mentioning that. I'll be at that.
Thank
and there's
you, Andy.
also on the what?
Andy, he met us at Wondercon.
Oh, thanks, Andy. Thank you for saying that.
Long Beach Comic Con and Expo are kind of two sides of the same coin.
Yep.
It's the same organization that puts on both. One's in the spring, one's in the fall. But they're both fun. They're It's a great little con.
It is a good
Long Beach
con.
throws.
Also, be really careful that you buy tickets to the right convention because I accidentally bought tickets to the wrong convention last year. So just be very careful and
What
double
are you
check.
talking about? How did you do that?
I bought one for LA Comic Con when I thought it was Long Beach Comic Con, and then I got to Long Beach Comic Con and didn't have a ticket. So
That didn't
By the way,
sell out.
Long Beach, for
No,
those,
but
if you
still.
are in Southern California, it's a really good con. And on Friday, right before the convention starts, they're having what's called the Comics Creator Conference, C3, for anybody interested in creating comic books or writing comic books. I will be there this year. I've gone, not last year, but the year prior, and it's a great networking thing. And all the comic book writers on the West Coast show up, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And it's very informative. So if you're interested, you should check it out. All right, we have some movies to crack.
There's
right
a
here.
lot coming out. And speaking of crack, the first one is Glass.
Yes. So these are the movies, Derek. That we
I
are-
think he gets an award for that.
Oh, Derek, you get an award.
Oh, I get an award for my
that was a
puns?
good one.
Sweet Pun Awards.
I was gonna say there's a lot of puns
You get-
today.
Echo Dot for Derek.
Oh shoot, that's a cool.
I was like, dang, I wasn't expecting. Like,
That's pretty
everyone
cool.
would
Actually
know.
gets
That's a
an
pretty cool
Okay.
prize for a pun. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
there were
okay.
actually other.
Sorry,
reasons
guys,
why
that's
you
the
were
only
Okay.
word of the night.
Okay, that's
You
fine.
dork.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Already
So we're
forgotten
gonna
convention mention.
we are going to break this up by month.
Yeah, Jake
but
does
we-
deserve some credit.
Convention mention.
Saw the Echo Dot down the middle and
Give
you
him
should
You
something.
have
have
my
that.
Harry Water.
him
that
something.
I'm
I'll
not
have your
drinking.
Harry Water,
There you
thank
go.
you.
So these are the movies
cheers.
that are probably going to be the biggest movies of the
Yeah,
year
don't
this
drink
coming year,
that.
especially in the geek and nerd universe, if not everywhere. There's some movies on here that will be the biggest movies of the year, of course. But we're most excited about this movie. Some will do great, some will bomb. And Ben, you have what?
Opinions.
He'll let you
Yeah.
know. All right, what's coming up in January?
I mean, somebody is watching on YouTube and they're wondering what this is about and why we're making these jokes. And that somebody is probably my mom. And she's like, what is the deal with the Echo Dot? And I'm going to have to explain. But that's okay. Let's talk movies.
I don't even know what it is. Luke just told
No,
me.
Luke
feel
liked,
like we
Luke
should
was delivering
not-
it to me because he had it.
No, you won this. You won this.
Okay, sorry.
All right, January.
I won it
What's the
because
big
I'm
movie coming up
awesome.
in
This is
January
something
this
we do.
weekend, by the way,
big
guys?
January this weekend movie is Glass, as Derek said 5 minutes ago.
Yes. My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why we don't finish on time. Glass.
Tell us about it.
Okay, well, it's a follow-up to a couple of other M. Night Shyamalan movies,
Yep.
which, surprise, spoiler alert, we're in the same universe.
Unbreakable
Unbreakable and
And Split.
Split.
Yes, and so this is Glass.
starring our
was the-
friend Morgan.
Keep going.
Just joking. That's
Glass
her
was
too.
the nickname for the
Mr.
guy
Glass.
that, yeah, Mr. Well, they called him Mr.
Elijah
Glass. it turned out-
Elijah Price.
Thanks, I couldn't remember his
Yes.
last name, but Elijah Price turns out to be the villain at the end, and then.
Oh, wait, no, don't ruin the end. Don't ruin the end. I haven't seen it
I'm
yet.
sorry.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I said spoiler alert
You
earlier.
should
I saw-
probably
it's
see
only 15
Unbreakable
years
and
too late.
Split.
I
He's
saw
in
Split.
Jim has
Unbreakable,
not
just so you
seen
know, Jim.
Unbreakable.
And I
saw-
have
Have you
not
seen
seen
Jim?
Split.
You have not seen Split. I've not seen Split.
I
You
saw
know,
Split.
they're both very good movies.
Oh, I'll say right there front, we will
Yeah.
try our best not to spoil any movies as we go through. Okay, yes.
I saw Split, and Bree wants to go see Glass this weekend, but we have to watch Unbreakable first because I haven't seen Unbreakable.
Yeah,
See.
Unbreakable's amazing.
Here's the
Like-
problem with Glass, though, because just for the fact that it exists will spoil both these movies just because
Yes.
it's advertising. It's a movie coming out, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Right.
okay, so now like the
Well-
endings to both the previous movies are spoiled.
And also in
because-
the
True.
trailer, it only
Interesting.
mentions Unbreakable. It does not mention Split in the trailer.
But we see James
But you
McAvoy going
see-
all
yeah.
crazy
I know,
and
but
animalistic.
I'm saying though, if
Yeah.
people don't know that that Split was also like, you know what I mean, like it said from the creators of Unbreakable, but it does not say and Split,
Oh,
which I
interesting.
thought
interesting.
was
You'd think
interesting.
you'd want people to see that.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Anyway,
what's coming
yeah.
up in February, guys?
The Lego Movie Part 2, the second
Yes.
one.
Yes.
What's it called? The second one.
The
The
second
second
part.
part.
To the second part.
I'm really excited about
Starring?
it. I know he is.
Starring all the people
Everybody.
from the first
That
one.
guy
main
that
cast?
just got
Chris
engaged.
Schwarzenegger.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt just
Chris
got
Pratt.
engaged
Yeah.
today. Congratulations.
I'm gonna be your daddy.
I'm going to be your daddy.
He's gonna-
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Is that crazy?
Also, Alita too, which I
It's
don't
also
know.
coming out. Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah,
what
I
do you
don't know.
think?
Oh, on
I feel
opinions.
like it
Okay,
has,
opinions.
I feel like it has a potential to be really good or really bad.
I think it's probably going to be good, but nobody's going to go see it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think it's going to bomb, but
it's
it's going to
gonna
be
be one
like
of
a good
those.
movie. That's
I'm also
gonna bomb.
sick of that trailer. Like,
For those
I'm not gonna lie.
unfamiliar with this, is this an original concept or is this based on something?
I
What is
believe
Alita?
Alita Battle Angel.
Why don't you tell us, Jake? Because I think you know.
I was asking on behalf of our viewers at home, maybe some in the studio who are not as familiar with
I'm
this.
not familiar with
It's
Alita
based on an
Battle Angel.
anime. correct?
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Well, that makes sense based on
And that is
the
why
characters'
my
appearance.
biggest pet peeve with the trailer is that it does match the anime in those weird eyes on the main character. It's a CGI rendered character.
Yeah. So she still looks like an animated character, but
Correct.
everybody else looks like real people.
And it bothers me a bit.
It does make for some dissonance.
So you
when
want to
you're
date
watching.
her?
I'll have a problem watching it.
I just think that they're promoting it so much
Jim's racist
that I'm
against anime.
already
Yeah.
feel
I
like
was so
it's
trying
gonna
my
be-
best not to make
If
this
that
sound
makes
so
sense.
non-racist.
Hang on, what did you say, Katie? It was
I
a little hard
think
to
they're
catch.
advertising it so much that it's going to be underwhelming regardless because
Sure.
there's
Yeah.
so
Maybe.
much
That makes sense.
stuff
Sometimes
about it.
that
It's not
happens.
like a Ready Player One where you were like, hey, da-da-da, like,
DreamWorks Animation has a cool movie coming out. What is that?
How to Train Your Dragon 3: The Hidden World.
What? You're excited,
I
Katie?
love those movies.
I think it's the
So
best of
good.
the DreamWorks animation movies.
I think I'm going to cry.
That'll do well because people love How to Train Your Dragon.
It's yeah.
Oh, I know.
It's got a
It's
very
just brilliant.
dedicated following.
Yeah.
And we have the Netflix show and like all that stuff. So
No, that's right. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
All right, Jake and Cheeseman on the couch. We are moving into March, and there's a particular movie coming out at the beginning of March that has the potential to be one of the top 3 biggest moneymakers of the year. What is that?
Is there Captain in it?
There is a captain. It's not
Is there
Tennille
a
because he's
Marvel
dead.
in it?
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's such a terrible thing to say. What I just said. The captain.
Captain
died.
Okay, I
Marvel.
didn't catch all of it. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is
About
coming
to
out
break some records.
March 8th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited in the I think wasn't the last trailer showed a little more humor.
Finally.
Finally.
Yeah.
I was kind of waiting for that, but I mean, regardless, I think it's gonna be awesome and stuff. The trailers just haven't been the best so far, but
I agree. The trailers
definitely
haven't been
looking
that
forward to it. We
captivating.
get to see a young
I haven't watched any of them.
Young
Nick Fury with hair.
Coulson.
Both eyes.
Captain
eyes.
Marvel is promising to be a two-hander, which means it's a movie about two people. It's about Nick Fury. It's a movie about Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, and I think. Right now, what we said at the beginning of the show, it's advanced ticket sales are the third highest of any Marvel film for single day advanced ticket sales. That doesn't always translate into giant legs on a movie, which means it doesn't last a long time. But it did for Infinity War and Black Panther became two of the biggest movies of all time. Anyone else excited about this movie?
Oh, I'm super stoked about it.
I am, but I haven't watched any trailers before.
You haven't seen the trailers for it?
No, because like most Marvel movies, with the exception of Avengers, because I can't not watch it, is I know I'm going to see it, so I'll just wait and watch it.
I agree with Katie wholeheartedly. I have been avoiding both Captain Marvel and Endgame trailers for that exact
That I
same
did not
reason.
avoid just because I couldn't help it.
You will be safe. Okay, when we get to Endgame, I'll tell you about the Endgame trailer. How it won't spoil it. Okay.
Well, I was
but-
going to say, if Infinity War is any indication, they've got false scenes in the trailer for Endgame. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Hulk.
As anyone, let's spoil it. The end credit scene of Infinity War hinted strongly that Captain Marvel would play a part in the next
Yes.
movie of the Avengers, and so I think that fact alone will cause everybody to show up for Captain Marvel just because they're going to think it's the next chapter in the Avengers. So, which it is not. It is, but it's a great thing, and everybody should pay attention to the cat named Goose because it's a special surprise. All right, what is the next movie in March?
It's the reunion of director Tim Burton and actors Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito. The
Yes!
first time they've
Batman
worked
and the
together since
Penguin
Batman
murdering
Returns.
elephants.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't even think about
I
that.
did not
Yeah.
realize that either. So okay.
Dumbo.
Dumbo, the
I'm
live
kind
action
of-
Dumbo from Walt Disney.
yeah, I'm kind of stoked about Dumbo.
The trailers do look great.
Yeah, and I think Tim Burton got way too Tim Burton-y for a while.
Oh yeah.
And like those Alice in Wonderland movies, like
The second one,
those
especially.
were insane.
Yeah, I liked the first one.
The first one, I can get. I don't know.
I mean, I caught the second one on Netflix later, and it was still entertaining. I still had
I saw
fun
the second
watching
one in
it.
the theater.
A popular cosplay came from it.
That's true. But I think Tim Burton has come back and really, like, from what I've seen in the trailers, this is like Tim Burton just really nailing it with his style and applying it well, like really well to a storytelling aspect.
Let's hope
and I
so.
love Michael Keaton and I love Danny DeVito and I love elephants.
Right. I mean, what else?
What I'm curious to see
Especially
is
baby
this is coming out after Greatest Showman, which is also about circusy. So it's going to be interesting to see the feedback one gets versus the other, et cetera, et cetera. if that makes
Exactly
any sense.
1 week later, Katie, are you excited about the next movie?
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the first DC movie I saw other than Batman in theaters.
On
that
April
was not
5th, watch the movie coming out.
Shazam,
Starring?
Zachary Levi.
Hashtag
I know you're a
Man
big
Crush
fan.
Monday.
Man crush every day. But anyway, but yeah, because I went to see Aquaman, but I was like, I thought Shazam was going to be the first DC non-Batman movie I saw in theater, and I am so excited about this. Like, I don't even have to see any other trailers, and I know I'm going to see it because he literally is Shazam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
it's not
casting is
it
just
doesn't look like it's
great.
attached to the rest of the convoluted DC universe.
It looks fun.
Yep, it looks
It looks fun.
fantastic. Very broad.
And this is the thing I like. You make you take this DC property, you make it fun, you give it some humor because it's based on a comic book.
Go figure.
And I think it's a, like, you know, all comic movies are relatively family friendly, but DC has a history of being very dark, not as family friendly as I think. But this one is going to be family friendly. Like,
Straight on family
There's
friendly.
literally kids in the movie.
It looks like they're super powered
yeah.
big. But can I say something really interesting? I know we're running out of time. Do you know what the comic book character's name? It's not really Shazam.
It's Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Right.
So we have two Captain
And
Marvels.
it was a whole
But
weird
if they
thing
got
back
a
in the day because
lawsuit-
this one was Captain Marvel and then like they
Yeah.
quit making it and somebody else came out with a Captain Marvel and copyright laws were funny and then like they owned the rights to it later and then both Captain Marvels I think have had several different characters actually adopting that mantle and then they've gone by different names over time.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
So it's easier to just call him Shazam.
Yeah, the power is imbued to this. Imbued? I don't know what the word is. Anyway, the power is given to this kid by a wizard named Shazam.
Yes.
To turn himself into a superhero named Captain Marvel by saying the
saying
word Shazam.
Yeah.
They get struck by a lightning bolt.
And
Love it.
eventually, I think there was a lawsuit between Marvel Comics and DC Comics, which Marvel was awarded the naming right. Yeah. And they can still call him Captain Marvel, but the title of the comic property is Shazam.
Yeah, and some of that had to do with like one or both characters were created under other comic book title property.
Under other properties, yeah.
Other brands.
And then they were obtained by DC and Marvel.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's like a long, complicated history, and you can read about it all on Wikipedia.
All right,
There you
and Steve, hopefully you'll give us just a few more minutes because we are running a little bit shorter
we're gonna
time.
run into
Let's go
extra
fast.
minutes
All right.
here.
Well, number
Hey,
12,
quick
I
question.
don't think we need
Quick
to talk.
question.
Yes.
Are we skipping horror because we have people on here talking about Happy Death Day? But are we doing that for Scare
Okay,
Guy Show?
in 2
Just to
weeks we are
clarify.
having a Scare Guy show where we are going to be going over all the big horror films coming out this year. Although we will mention one in here coming up because we can't avoid it. Yes, so tell everybody, yes, we will be talking about horror in 2 weeks. All horror, nothing else. All right, except for this next one, which is a little bit horror. What's it called? April 12th? Somebody.
Hellboy.
Hellboy. It's not quite horror, it's more
No,
action.
but it just has hell in the title.
Yes, but the big movie, perhaps my prediction for the biggest movie of the year, perhaps the biggest movie in many years, comes out in April 26th.
Yeah, Avengers Endgame, which is the long-awaited sequel to the Diana Rigg movie from like in the 90s, right?
What are you talking
With Uma
about?
Thurman and Ray
Endgame?
Fiennes and Sean
Oh, sorry, Diana
Connery.
Rigg was from the TV show.
That's right, yeah.
Um,
Diana Rigg was from the
It's
TV
still
show.
a follow-up from that. Yep.
All right, I don't
Which
think
we've all been waiting
We don't need to
for.
talk. This is the one where
I challenge the statement that will be the biggest movie of the year.
Yeah.
oh, you think the one at the end of the year is going to be the biggest?
No, not the end of the year. I think there might be it's a toss-up between two of the animated ones. I'm guessing either Frozen 2 or Toy Story 4 are going to be the biggest movies of the year.
That's a solid challenge.
I will
accept
see that challenge and raise you. I think no.
Let's put some money on it.
I don't
gentlemen.
know.
And I hate you because you said that.
I'm really.
Or
I have opinions, but
let's
I'm
not forget that
What's your
let's not forget that there's 3 live-action remakes of classics. We mentioned one Dumbo, but there's also Aladdin and Lion King coming out.
okay,
And The
can you-
Lion King is not a live
Let's put
action
those all three
remake,
together real
that's
quick. When is Aladdin?
That is in
May 24th.
That's Memorial Day weekend. And when is Lion
Wow.
King?
July.
July. We have 3 live action remakes of Disney films. Many
you
people
kidding
think
us?
this is too many. They also, on their streaming service, are having another one. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about that one yet.
That is a lot.
Which is all this
Okay, then
year.
don't say any more.
All right. Anyways,
We'll
Jake,
wait to
It's
find
a
thank
out.
you
lot.
for pointing that out. I think Lion King will hit $1 billion.
Lion King
think
will
all
be
three-
good
I
because
think-
it's Jon Favreau and that
Yes.
man produces gold.
And
Yes.
honestly, the trailer. I was at work. I didn't know they were airing the trailer when they aired it, and it happened to be showing. All of a sudden, I like almost cried. I know that's like it's all exactly like the original, but like I love that movie.
All right,
So,
after
yeah.
Avengers Endgame, and I forgot to put the date, but Pokemon Detective Pikachu,
Pikachu.
voiced by Ryan Reynolds. Are you excited about that one?
It looks like fun.
I think
it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like, I have always wanted to see a live action version of Pokemon, but have it be more like the original Pokemon game, and this is like a different video game, different take on it.
I'm going to read some.
I still really wanna see it.
Kind of fast here, and then I'll stop. May 17th, John Wick 3, Parabellum. May 24th, Ad Astra. That's the Brad Pitt movie. He's a space engineer. May
Don't
24th.
know what that means.
Do not know what that is.
He's a space engineer that goes out to investigate his dad being killed.
it
or
means he
something.
operates
Space
trains through
engineer
space.
movie.
It's a weird movie, I guess. 24th,
Brad
May
Pitt.
24th is Aladdin. But then May 31st is a movie which I think has the potential to be one of the biggest movies of the year because I'm a giant Kaiju fan.
And
Say
we're
it,
out
Jim.
of time.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I'm so stoked.
Yeah.
Because
Those
King
trailers
Ghidorah,
look amazing.
because King
Godzilla.
Ghidorah is going to be there, which makes me very happy. Does anybody else? What were you? What's your?
I'm really nervous about it.
Oh, I know. I don't.
Like
The trailers look too.
they're not saying enough and also saying too much. The trailer. That's a weird statement, I
Yeah.
know, but it's just it's really hard. You can mess that movie up so easily. That's
Yep.
all I'm gonna say.
I
about
agree.
that.
I
Well,
hope
they do.
it's
I hope
done
it's
well.
good,
Mess up
but
Godzilla.
And it's starring what?
Millie Bobby Brown.
Billy Bobby Brown. which-
Millie
Bobby
Millie
Brown.
Brown.
Billy Bobby
Billy Bobby.
And she's
But-
just
wait,
kind
wait,
of
wait,
We only got like 2 minutes.
Okay, guys, we got to hurry. All
Yep.
right. The next one, June 4th, I think is a bomb. What is it?
June 7th, X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Oh, no, that one I think was going to be middling good. I'm
Okay.
super stoked. It's one of my favorite characters.
June 14th, Men in Black International.
Bomb.
probably.
You
June
think so?
21st.
We'll see.
I think it's gonna
we'll
bomb.
see. You
You
might
think
surprise
so?
us.
They
June
gotta humor
21st
up
is
the
Toy Story
trailers.
4,
Toy Story 4, which will do $1 billion.
which I'm skeptical, but it might actually be really good, and I believe it has Tony Hale.
Our friend Tony Hale is one of the voices.
Yeah.
He plays a spoon.
He plays a spork.
a spork.
That's
right.
awesome. Okay.
I do love me some Tony.
What's
Hale.
you?
I know it.
Oh, what's next, Derek?
July 5th, Spider-Man Far From Home, which is the next Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
Jake, which cracks me up because Jake Gyllenhaal is finally in a Spider-Man movie.
Really?
So there was
He's in that movie?
Jake Gyllenhaal. He plays Mysterio, dude. It's all over the internet.
I have not seen this.
my God.
Yeah,
That's
Jake
great.
Gyllenhaal's Mysterio in Spider-Man Far From Home. And the thing is, after the first Spider-Man movie came out, when they were getting ready to do Spider-Man 2,
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire was
injured
being a
his
real
back.
turd about his money and trying to hold out for it.
Oh.
And Sony was like, cool, we'll get Jake Gyllenhaal to play Spider-Man instead. And that's when he caved, and then they made Spider-Man 2, which is the
So now
best.
they're actually having, yeah.
Which is the best of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, in my personal opinion.
Derek, you take July, I'll take August.
Okay, so July 19th, which we already mentioned, The Lion King. July 26th is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio.
August 2, the
I don't know if it's about
long-awaited
another Brad Pitt movie.
August the 2nd, the long-awaited The New Mutants, which we thought was pushed, but it's going to be the horror version of.
Well, I mean, it was pushed
It was
because it was
pushed.
pushed from last year,
Yeah.
but then that's the one that's got Maisie Williams.
August
Yeah.
9th, Artemis Fowl.
No, wrong Game of Thrones person, but yeah.
All right, Jake, what's coming on
Yes.
September 6th?
Oh, It Chapter
wait, is it?
2.
That's a horror movie that we had to talk about.
I'm
What?
excited about that.
Yeah, I think it's a
I'm apprehensive.
Oh, what? Why? What?
No kids. The kids were my favorite part
No, they're
about
back.
it.
No, I think
They're back.
I
The
think it's a bit of
nostalgia.
both. Like if you look on IMDb, it lists like the kids and the adults.
But how much of the kids?
Who knows?
I like
It's
the
a
kids.
cultural phenomenon. Biggest horror movie of all time is the
I
They
original.
have to. It's the book. They gotta
October
follow the
1st,
book.
we have a big movie from
Yeah.
Todd Phillips from DC. It is.
It's the Joker standalone.
Everyone's does not know how to feel about this movie.
I
I want to see it.
I do too.
I have
like The
opinions. I will
Hangover,
keep them to
and I
myself.
like
Yeah,
the
we don't-
Joker.
All right,
don't-
October 11th, Zombieland 2. November 1st is another one, which I think will be a bomb, and I hope it's not.
Oh, we'll see. The new Terminator, but this
The
time James
daddy
Cameron's
of
back, and
Chris Pratt.
they've got like the Linda Hamilton and
and
Arnie.
Arnold
all back.
Schwarzenegger's back. Linda Hamilton's back. So exciting. November 8th, Sonic the
Edward
Hedgehog,
Furlong,
the
please
live-action
come back.
movie.
I'm just really glad that's happening.
Jake, what's coming out November 22nd, which you think has the potential to be a great big movie?
Frozen 2.
Did you like the first one?
I enjoyed Frozen.
I didn't.
It was all right.
I
felt
never
it-
saw it, and
Sorry,
I never
I have
will,
opinions
just
about
saying.
that too.
Yeah, I
just
got
was not
opinions
happy.
about that.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Seriously,
Okay.
I got opinions.
Ben, what are our
No.
last two big movies of the year?
Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle 2. I will watch Rock the Dwayne Johnson
Rock the
watch
Dwayne.
paint dry for
Yes.
2 hours. And yes, I said Rock the Dwayne
It
Johnson.
was, the
And that's
first one
December
was
13th.
a good movie.
That's
I
December
enjoyed it.
13th.
Yeah.
Also, Karen Gillan, who doesn't want to look at her for
Yep.
2 hours. And then, but they added a couple people. Who did they add?
Oh, I don't know.
If we don't
Is
know
Nick
it off the
Jonas
top.
still in it?
Yes.
He
Yeah,
is?
I
Okay,
think
I'll
he'll
go
be
see
in
it.
it,
It's
yeah.
fine. We're good. Okay.
And then on December 20th, 2019, we get Star Wars Episode 9, the final of the Skywalker saga. And we'll see what happens. I'm
will
looking
see
forward
what
to it. They're promising, apparently they're promising to connect the prequels, the original trilogy, and the new trilogy.
Everything.
Which I'm looking forward to.
I hope they just do it well.
Old Man Lando, a lot of Carrie Fisher. I would assume a lot more Mark Hamill than what you would think. But, you know, Sir Alec Guinness in Empire and Jedi.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
Yep.
so
They made that happen.
I think that J.J. Abrams is going to pull it out. He's going to pull the rabbit out of the hat. It's going to be a magic trick. It's going to be an amazing finish. I don't
better
know.
be. It
I
better.
hope so
It
because
better.
oh, come on, please do it, Gigi.
I hope at the end of Star Wars Episode 9, the screen goes black and all of a sudden a young George Lucas just wakes up from a nap and he's like, and then that's it.
That would be the best ever. The best ever. Thank you, everybody, for watching us this week.
Yeah.
We had such a good time talking about all the movies that we are excited about this
Yeah.
year. Be paying attention. Be like Jake. What was the hashtag? If you have any questions, what's it called?
Convention
Mention.
Convention mention.
Yeah,
mention
tell
your
us more about
conventions.
your conventions.
Also,
You
get
could do that on our Twitter and Instagram as
on
well.
our,
Yeah.
get involved and tell us what you thought about the show tonight. Tell us other movies that you are excited about seeing that we were not able to mention tonight. Remember, we will be talking about horror movies in 2 weeks. My name is Jim. You can find me at Con Guy Jim. I'm the Frye Guy on Twitter. And where can we find everybody else?
Hi, I am Con Guy Derek on Twitter. My name is Derek, and I'm, one of the con guys.
I'm Katie. You can find me on Instagram at Katie's Fairy Tale, and then on Twitter at KT_Christine.
I'm Ben Kliewer. You can find me on any social media at BenKliewer. And one thing I'm excited about is we've got Phil Coulson coming back in Captain Marvel.
So
Spoiler
excited about that,
alert.
yeah.
Oh shoot.
Yo, Jake. Jake. Find me at JT Hummus on Twitter. Excited about many things.
And I'm Cheeseman on the couch. Yeah, with the conguy.com. And Brad wanted us to mention the Hugh Jackman thing, but I don't know. He did the hashtag.
Real quick, it is a fake news that Hugh Jackman is going to be showing up in Avengers, but it would be cool if he shows up in the Endgame. That is the meme that's all over the internet today.
He's going to be in
That would
episode
be
9.
He did the hashtag cameo.
Remember,
He's gonna play
we-
Wolverine in
Hashtag
episode
cameo.
9.
We can
Yes.
dream.
I think he's going to be Deadpool.
But we don't hate anybody for it. We are fans, and this is your safe place to geek out. We will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only, and not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners and principals.